President Trump tonight issuing pardons to two reality TV stars, Todd and Julie Chrisley, known for their hit show Chrisley Knows Best. They were convicted of defrauding banks out of tens of millions of dollars. Both Chrisleys convicted back in 2022 and still had several years left on their prison sentences. A White House staffer posting video from the moment Trump called their children to tell them the news.
Give them my regards and wish them a good life.
Mr. President.
Yes. How are you?
I just want to say thank you for bringing my parents back.
Yeah, well, they were given a pretty harsh treatment based on what I'm hearing. Pretty harsh treatment.
Yes, sir.
Trump's pardon comes after the Chrisleys' daughter, Savannah, who you heard in that video, made an appearance on a Fox News show hosted by Trump's daughter-in-law, Laura Trump. Senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez joins us now from the North Lawn. Gabe, what do we know about why Trump decided to grant this pardon?
Well, Elson, you just saw that video posted by one of his aides. You know, he was speaking with his children, their children rather, by phone from the Oval Office. Now, in that video, he said that this should never have happened to the Chrisleys, that they were given pretty harsh treatment, as you just heard. And look, a jury found the couple guilty of fraud, including charges related to a tax evasion scheme that went on for years. Now, investigators accused the couple of submitting false documents to request bank loans and using a production company to hide income from the IRS. Now, President Trump has repeatedly railed against what he calls the weaponization of the justice system. He sees himself as being targeted because of his fame. He's said that before. And it was just a few months ago that he pardoned former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich, who'd been serving time for public corruption. So late today, Allison, the White House said the president always is pleased to give well-deserving Americans a second chance, especially those who have been unfairly targeted and overly prosecuted by an unjust justice system, he wrote. Now, that was according to a White House official. The president is now expected to officially sign the pardons within the next 24 hours, else.
Gabe, let's step back a little. And you mentioned a different pardon that the president has done that was considered controversial by some. So far, President Trump's choices for pardons this term have caused quite a bit of controversy, starting with his pardoning of nearly all of the January 6th defendants. Has the White House indicated that there's any sort of strategy at play when it comes to these pardons?
Well, and these pardons play well with his base, many of whom feel that they've been unfairly held back or targeted by the establishment. Now, I just mentioned what he thinks of the justice system. Well, the pardon requests apparently keep coming. U.S. pardon attorney Ed Martin personally received pardon applications from members of the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, including members who were convicted of seditious conspiracy. And that's according to a former classmate of President Trump who's working on the issue. That's what he told NBC News. So it's possible we could see more of these, else.
NBC's Gabe Gutierrez, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.